The Buzz is currently being brought to you by Zetagrid, Australia's award-winning provider of on-demand IT infrastructure for businesses that want reliability, speed and flexibility.
Welcome back to The Buzz, still Australia's preferred social media show. It's great to have your company. Are you tweeting us? Hashtag The Buzz. Cookie, have we got any?
Our good friend Not Gareth says, I just got home to see The Buzz and it looks like an alien has sucked Cook Sphere's face off.
You little sweetie.
Carl, hey, The Buzz, your tweet feed seems broken. What the? Have we got a tweet feed? I don't even know what that means. Henry Bean says, I used to be a gawker. Turns out people don't like to be watched while they're at home through binoculars.
It's okay if they don't know.
That's right. And Matty V for Vendetta says, watching The Buzz while stuffing my face with a kebab. Michael Gosney says, The Buzz, now with less facial hair.
Just this week.
We'll be back next week.
We'll be hairying it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, time for us to check back in with Candice now. And Candice, what have you got for us?
Well, I mentioned before about the social media awards, which are coming up in a couple of days' time, and one of the categories is games. So I thought I'd check out a couple of the games in the category just to see whether they're kind of up to scratch and worth a nomination. This one's called Candy Crush, and while I must admit, a lot of things that are called candy are quite good. Ha ha ha. This is really below par. It has had a lot of advertising, an absolute lot of advertising. I can't play any other game without finding some reference or some pop-up or some Candy Crush reference, so I downloaded it. Surprisingly, a lot of the people who've been playing it that I know are blokes, despite all the real cutesy graphics and lollies and pink and, I don't know, thought I'd check it out anyway. So here's a look at what the concept's all about. It's kind of like a bit of a skew-whiff Tetris in a way. But with lollies, and for some reason these little blobs are lollies and you kind of catch it as you continue through the game. I am hugely disappointed with this game. One of the reasons is that you only have what they call 5 lives. And if you can't complete a level in 5 tries, you have to wait half an hour before you can have another attempt. Half an hour per life. So, you know, if you're playing it before you go to bed, then, you know, you're going to wake up in the morning and it's all good. But I don't want to have to fork out for more lives, so I'm going to give this one...
Candice, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking it's also cutesy and there's little bits of fruit and whatnot.
I'm sorry, that looks as boring as batshit.
Can't we have something that's got car wheels and anchors off a ship and
shooting
aeroplanes and that kind of thing?
I don't think much could save the concept for this game, in my humble opinion. It just doesn't do really anything for me at all. I'm going to give it a buzz factor of 3 out of 10, but something I did find really cool was this tourism campaign from Holland.
Abercrombie and Fitch only wants a certain kind of person to be wearing their clothes. Today, we're going to change their brand. I traveled to a Los Angeles Goodwill, where I scoured the racks for donated Abercrombie and Fitch clothing. Next, I headed to East Los Angeles, also known as Skid Row, the location of one of the largest populations of homeless people in America. It was time to do some charity. They embraced it wholeheartedly, and my expedition was a huge success.
So Abercrombie and Fitch, now this is an organisation, a clothing retailer in the United States that likes to think that their clothing is only suitable for certain kinds of more upmarket people, jocks and the trendy folk and that kind of thing.
See, I don't even know, because I'm certainly, if you know anything about me, you know my following of fashion is quite scant once it goes past Target. But I don't know, I can't help but think here's some guy who's caught some CEO saying something stupid and decided this is a great idea for a bit of self-promotion. Is this really hammering a point home? Do you think it was done well?
So you're seeing this really as one step up from slacktivism?
Well, I wonder whether we're now crossing that boundary where we're seeing people are seeing an opportunity for self-promotion.
But does it matter?
Through protest.
As long as he's getting his point across, does it really matter if it's self-promotion?
I don't know. Does he get his point across? Candice, do you think he gets his point across?
Look, it's a stunt. If nothing else, it's a stunt. He's made a point. I think a lot of people agree with him, so I don't think he's really done anything wrong here.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's done something wrong, but I don't know. I just wonder about the...
Let's just, if you just pull up my iPad now and take a look at this. It says Abercrombie and Fitch ads reimagined as attractive and fat. And, of course, we have some pictures here of some slightly more curvy people. And I've got to tell you... No, that's not me. Oh, you mean the one with the long hair?
Oh, yeah, that's some guy.
Yeah. But, you know, you go to look at it and, yes, they're using... Well, I reckon fat's probably a bit of an exaggeration as well. She's not fat, she's just curvaceous and voluptuous. No? Candace, help.
You know, I think she's representative. She's a bit more representative of the average woman out there.
Really?
And I think she's
That's
beautiful
average?
in her own way. That's it.
I mean, mind you, sometimes you Google chubby and, you know, you don't get what you expect. It's like,
No, you don't.
That's
No,
not chubby,
no,
that's
but
voluptuous. But although she's on the healthy side of voluptuous.
She certainly is. All right, Tumblr, the blog.
Yes.
Now, get this. 26-year-old programmer 5 years ago created Tumblr.
It's amazing.
It's, you know, for the last 5 years, grown and grown and grown. And then Yahoo's come along.
Yeah.
And Marissa Mayer, formerly of Google, has said, I want that. How much did she pay?
How much?
$1.something billion.
It's insane.
That's $1,000 million.
Thank you for that.
That's just a ridiculous amount of money.
Some are 100 million and some are...
Not this one.
So, young school kid, he dropped out of university.
Yep.
And decided, I'm going to create this webpage. Now, what is Tumblr, essentially? It's just
blog.
a collection of pictures?
Well, yes, kind of. I think the reason it's so popular is that noobs can go there and they can get a blog set up instantly, and it looks good. It's got templates you can put on. It's free of charge, and getting all your multimedia on there, your photos, sounds, everything is dead set simple to do.
So why are the public, and I guess Tumblr users in particular, so upset about selling it to Yahoo?
Because look what Yahoo has done to most of the other web properties that they've bought.
What's another web property there?
Well, Flickr's another one they bought for 35 million. Didn't really do much with it.
Isn't Flickr like Tumblr?
No. Flickr's purely for photos.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, and that really, I think, is probably the big criticism that people have got. Oh, my God, what are they going to do to Tumblr?
Yeah.
And you've got a lot of people who are, you know, they're heavily invested in Tumblr.
Yep. But you can't really go anywhere else, I guess, once you're already on there. Your blog's up there, unless you're going to rip your whole blog.
Well, you can transfer them. So I think WordPress offers a facility for pulling it across.
Okay.
Anyway, enough about that. Time for us to check in with Candy again. Hello, Candy.
Now, this one's a bit more up my alley. If you need to buy an individual present for yourself or for someone else, particularly a woman, then Etsy is a great place to go. It's a lot of handmade art and craft kind of things, but with a little bit of an edge. So we can see we've got different things like necklaces, wall decals, jewellery, clothing, all sorts of things. And there's plenty of stuff on there for guys, including gadgets and iPhone cases, all sorts of things like that. I really like this app. It does, there is a wider desktop site, but I find the app really easy to use, really easy to browse. And I got to admit, a lot of my money goes on purchases for Etsy. If you can get past all the florals and the kind of wedding accessories, then you really can find some really individual, one-of-a-kind pieces, and well worth a look. I'm going to give this an app a buzz factor of 7 out of 10. Now, I wanted to bring you this clip earlier. This is the tourism clip from Holland.
Let me show you what's really cool about Holland. You call it organic and artisanal. We just call it food. You call it boutique, independent, alternative. We call it the 9 Streets. You call it exercise. We call it a way of life. They still drive cars!
Do you know the big problem with the Netherlands? I mean, that looks absolutely beautiful.
I don't know.
Dutch people.
Okay. You don't like Dutch people?
Oh, I've just had my challenges with some Dutch. I can remember, I'm not going to tell you where I worked or anything, or even how long ago it was. It was in the CBD.
Right.
I went into work one day in a skyscraper, and this Dutch guy had brought in his gun for us all to see.
Do you know what, when I think of Dutch people, I think there's a wonderful Derek and Clive song. But anyway, move on.
We'll
Those
move
who
right
know
along.
Derek and Clive will know the song.
Amy's Baking Company is in the
Yes.
news at the moment,
It sure
and
is.
apparently they've had a bit of a meltdown on Facebook, and it's particularly entertaining.
In fact, I'm trying to find the Facebook page now, but it seems to have disappeared. No results for Amy's Baking Company. This came up on, what's that show called? Kitchen Nightmares. I'm thinking Hell's Kitchen for some
that's
reason.
on with Gordon friggin' Ramsay.
So he goes to a restaurant that's particularly bad and tries to turn things
Amy's
around
Baking
for
Company,
them.
Bakery, Boutique and Bistro.
So they gave him a call. He went to see Amy and Sam, who is her husband, and they said, we had a reviewer come in. He didn't like it. It spread on social media, and now people hate our restaurant. Our business has dived. Gordon, come and taste our food. Amy says that she was inspired by God to cook. She believes that he's her guiding hand when she's making stuff. So one of the things, unfortunately, that means is when somebody says my meal isn't very nice, she thinks they actually don't understand what good food is. When I think probably God doesn't understand what good food is.
So she's called Gordon thinking that it was Godrin.
Absolutely, maybe. Anyway, so he's come. He's tried to set it up, and he's had a bit of a chat to them. He's tried to help them. They've said, no, get lost. You don't understand, because he said, no, your food is actually a bit crap.
Okay.
She's then gone to her Facebook page and said, Sammy and I will stand strong through the oppression that has been thrown at us. We ask that our supporters keep us in their prayers, though this is rough and unjust in our lives. She wants to thank God, she wants people to pray, and she wants to get rid of the haters and the sinners.
What's unjust? Defrosting cannelloni, which you're going to sell to customers.
Absolutely.
You've got to bake it fresh if you're going to be a bakery. That's what bakery means.
You really need to see the episode. It's great. And I think Amy has some serious issues that she probably needs to attend to. But she went to a Facebook page and it went nuts. She came, I am not stupid. All of you are. You just do not know good food. It's not uncommon to resell things. Walmart does it, blah, blah, blah. They then said their Facebook page was hacked. There was then one that said new. They then said that was a fake one, and it just spiralled into madness, and it has been a beautiful thing.
Can we currently check this out online? Is it still happening?
If you go to Reddit, there are various links, even from previous staff members who will tell you some of the inside story of what actually went on in the restaurant. It's a great read and a fabulous story.
Just quickly, because we are running out of time, Saudi Arabia, it appears that if you use Twitter in Saudi Arabia, you're going to hell.
Well, if you use Twitter, the trouble is you're not going to hell for you. If you go on Twitter and don't follow anyone, it's all good. The trouble is there are so many people who are sinners on Twitter that will lead you astray, that chances are it's going to increase your chance of going to purgatory. According to Saudi Arabia's top cleric. So that was a big story. Abdul Latif Abdul Aziz Al Sheikh. He's one of the most senior authorities in Saudi Arabia, and he's basically said, stay away, you're risking damnation.
Right then.
We won't have an Islamic version of the Pontifex Twitter feed.
Not any.
Well, certainly not in Saudi, which is a very strict Islamic country.
All right. Now, I think the next package that we've got here is Fitch the homeless. I'm not entirely sure.
No. Do we have a grizzly bear? Don't we have a grizzly bear?
Oh, that's...
Let's do it. Let's do the bear.
Open your mouth.
Yeah.
Wide. All right. Check this out, but from a grizzly bear and a GoPro instead. All right, every week we like to bring you a list of the best of Twitter, people that we think you should be following, and for that we go to Candy.
Got 3 quick ones for you this evening. The first one, we kind of got a little bit of a taste of the wonderful world of animals just before, but at Fabulous Animals, from domestic to exotic, from young to old, if you like animals, you're going to love this feed. It is, and I know I've talked about animal picture feeds in a few episodes, but these are just fabulous. They're quite unique pictures, well worthy of a look. Blair.
What are you doing on Animal Life?
What are you doing there,
Oh,
buddy?
look at that. Did you see the length of my trunk?
You've got a big trunk.
Baby elephants, who doesn't like those, right? The next one I have for you is at VineVids. Now, the Vine is something we've spoken about on the program before. It's kind of like 5-second films, real clips, real snippets of life, people getting quite creative with them as well. But if you didn't want to sift right through all of the listings on the Vine, you just want to find the good stuff, then check out at VineVids. It sifts all of the good stuff for you, handpicks it so that you can only deal with the very best. The last one I have for you tonight is at One Pot Chef, and it's spelt 1-O-N-E. This is a New South Wales sort of YouTube entrepreneur chef who, you guessed it, cooks one-pot meals. A one-pot chef, one-pot meals. Some really, really interesting concepts here, and absolutely perfect if you are as lazy in the kitchen as I am. Are you lazy in the kitchen, gentlemen, or do you just leave it to the other half?
I'm not allowed in the kitchen.
Oh.
What about you?
Look, every time I go in the kitchen, I try and pull her apron off, so she just sends me out.
How many children have you got?
Yeah, not enough.
Not enough. That's what's happening. Thank you, Candice. Thank you to everybody who has tweeted this evening. We have our winners of the double pass to come, or the 2 double passes, in fact. 2? 2?
Oh, my lordy.
To come to our birthday party. I'll try and catch the cameraman out. There you go. That one there. So the winners tonight, Mick Goss, Michael Gosney.
Oh,
congratulations.
I love Michael.
And also
mate,
Carl.
well
Now, I'm
done.
assuming that Carl is, in fact, at Shadow of a Dream.
Yes, that
I'm
Carl.
thinking that's his name, that particular Carl. Congratulations, lads. We will actually see, hopefully you can come along, but we will actually see you at our 3rd birthday party, which is happening when? It's happening on...
this Friday, isn't it?
Friday,
Is it this
there we
Friday,
go.
24th.
That's incredible. Gentlemen, you'll have to email through so that we can get the details to you. events@wtvperth.com.au.
Hashtag the buzz, keep the conversation going. We love to read the tweets as we drive home. I mean, as when we get home.
When we get home, indeed. Candace?
Yes?
Why aren't you coming along? We would like you to come along. All right.
We'll talk about it next time.
See you, everybody. We've got to go.
The Buzz, Australia's only live, interactive social media program on free-to-air TV, was proudly brought to you by Zetagrid, Australia's award-winning provider of on-demand IT infrastructure for businesses that want reliability, speed and flexibility.